What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back with another e-bike review, and this one is my new Rattan Quercus. Let's take a look. So here it is, my brand new Rattan Quercus, and this is a premium e-bike. It's on sale right now for $18.99. Typically, you're going to find this for $2,098. So if you're interested in one of these, you might want to jump onto it before the sale is over. It's a good-looking bike with some pretty impressive specifications and I love this wood. I just love the look of that wood with the burned-in rattan on the back. Very nice looking bike. This is a smaller bike, a 20-inch with the fat tire, 4-inch fat tires, and they have the nice lettering. I want to call it white lettering, but this lettering is actually kind of gray, and I really like the sport in red. You obviously have a front suspension, as you get with a lot of these bikes. Looks like it's got quite a bit of travel. A ginormous projection headlight up front. You do have hydraulic disc brakes, front and rear, 180 millimeter fast ace. You have a 750 watt motor in the back. And take a look at these alloy wheels. These are really nice. Not spokes, alloys. Those look really, really nice. So it's 750 watts, but the peak is 1200, guys. 1200. Yeah, it's going to get it. 750 watts sustained, and you're looking at a 48 volt, 20 amp hour. It's a semi-integrated battery. It's called a long endurance battery, and it utilizes Samsung cells. You've got a really nice big cushy seat, which is adjustable in almost every way possible, including forward, backward. You got these nice springs back here as well. Really nice, and a beautiful, beautiful color screen. Let's power it on so you guys can see it. Look at that. Very nice layout. I love this. So you've got an information button that you push. It takes you through trip, odometer, maximum speed, average speed, time, etc. And then you have turn signals. I mean, this thing really has everything. Turn signals, and if you notice, they're flashing backwards from what I'm pushing. All right, right is left, left is right. That is my fault. I actually mounted this little device upside down, and I just realized I need to take it home and just flip it around. I put this on upside down. So left will be right, and right will be left. Take a look back here. Behind the shelf, you've got turn signal, you've got a reflector, another turn signal, brake light, and tail light. So very nice. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. To turn the headlights on, you hold the plus button. And there you go. The screen dims and you get a little light on the screen there. And then you should be able to see this projection light really, really shine. Boy, that thing is, that's a bright light, guys. That's a really bright light. Coming back here to the light on the back, look how bright that is. Now, if I hit the brakes, you should be able to see, look at that. Very nice. It's got a couple of kickstands. What I thought was kind of interesting. This is your normal kickstand, but this one right here actually lifts the bike off the ground. I've seen these on mopeds in the past, which is kind of nice. You push that kickstand down, you can actually lift the bike up. Let me do that and show you. So let's say you need to do some type of work on the bike or something. They make it really easy with this additional kickstand. It lifts the whole back off the ground. Now look, if I push the throttle, well, I about got hit with a rock. Look at that. Right? Super nice, guys. And then, of course, there's your brakes. So payload capacity on this is about 450 pounds. It does have an 8-speed gear shift system. And the range, this is complicated, guys. Okay, get ready. Up to 100 miles. But it requires the additional battery. These do have a dual battery option. Mine did not come with that. So I have to assume without the extra battery, we're probably talking more like 60, maybe 65 miles without it, because I think the top battery is smaller, I should say, than the battery on the bottom. So I would assume somewhere between 50 and 60 miles without that. Top speed on this, 30 miles an hour. This is a Class 3 bike, which means It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to do this just like I do every other bike. I take it through a little torture test, and that is this off-road place right over here. It is really hard on bikes, and I find it to be a good way of predicting how a bike is going to handle some of the most extreme circumstances you will probably ever put it through. So I'm going to start off a little slow. So far, not a problem. The motor has no issue getting through this. And it's going to get bumpy. There we go. Let's go this way. Very nice. Oh man, this thing scoots. Let's jump it. Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice. Handled that very gracefully. And, oh, yes. I told you, man. This is my endurance test. If it can make it through this, it's probably going to be able to handle just about anything you throw at it. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's try this again. I keep you guys pointed so you can see the wheel, because I want you to be able to see exactly what this bike is having to go through. And sometimes this terrain is a little too much for my camera mount, and it's a really good camera mount, guys. It is. It just, there's some things it's just not able to handle. So let's get back into this. Oh! Oh! I'm honestly surprised I didn't fall off on that. That was a pretty good jump, guys. Very nice. Okay. I think we've had enough playing. Let's get this thing back out on the road where it belongs. That's where it wants to be. Very nice. This is a great bike. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed with my camera mount. It seems to be holding on for dear life right now. Okay, back on the road here. Let's try out those hydraulic brakes. You ready? Oh, wow. Excellent brakes. All right, I changed the angle on you guys a little bit. This poor bike. It wasn't expecting what I just did to it. It really wasn't. And I kind of want to go back and do it again. That was a lot of fun. I tell you guys all the time, if you watch my videos, I mean, listen, I love all the bikes, but I'm a big fan of these 20-inch bikes. Thankfully, I'm not too big for it. I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm 210 pounds, and this bike can handle 400 plus pounds. So this bike can move me around like it's nothing. I'm doing 20 miles an hour on a gravel road, no problem. If I need to slow down quickly, someday they're going to have to come up with ABS brakes for bicycles, guys. But these 20-inch bikes make me feel so confident. Like, I really feel like I could kind of take on the world. Makes me feel like I'm 13 again, you know, on a BMX bike, just out having a blast. I love these smaller form factor bikes. Let's take this out on the main road. All right, we're gonna get going from a dead stop here. I'm just gonna use the throttle at first, and let's see what the top speed is with throttle. Here we go. No pedaling. Man, this thing launches. It just takes off. Wow. There's 30. We're over 30. 31. 32. This might be the fastest bike I've ever been on. 32, and then it's coming down. It topped out at about 32.3. We're maintaining 31.6 now. And it feels super solid, rock solid, guys. I can't believe this. 32 miles an hour. We are holding 32, and I'm not pedaling. That is just the throttle alone. Oh, I like this one. 33 and a half. Because the half counts, guys. 33 miles an hour. Okay, so we're coming up a big hill. This is a really big incline, and I'm always curious to see how far these things drop down in speed. We're down to 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Fastest bike I've tested so far, 26 miles an hour. Most of them drop down to 18 to 20 miles an hour on that hill. This is the fastest bike I have ever tried. And I got to give a big shout out to Rattan for sending this to me. This thing is absolutely epic. So we're going to get off the road here in just a minute. It's my way of making sure I don't end up coming out into any kind of traffic or anything. So we'll take this thing back off-road again. We'll see how it does going from pavement to off-road. I'm gonna have to slow down a little bit because, like I said, I'm doing 30 and a half sustained miles an hour. So I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit. For once, I've got a bike that's a little faster than I'd be comfortable with just jumping off-road. All right, here we go. Because this is a pretty bumpy off-road section right here. We're doing 13 and a half, 14 miles an hour. Man, this thing just gets it, guys. I got a car coming. Big bump. Handled it nicely. We're gonna turn here. I use my turn signals. Just gotta remember, on this bike, until I flip the switch around, turn signals are backwards. Man, this thing can keep up with traffic. I'm literally speeding right now with ease. And so far, I'm still just using the thumb throttle. I'm not pedaling. Oh, this is a fun bike. This bike's gonna get me in trouble is what it's gonna do. Here comes a big bump right here. Gravel, not a problem. All right, let's slow it down. We got some dogs up here. Let's go around this corner. How's it going? Good. All right. I tell you guys all the time, I get chased by dogs more often than I think anybody else does. Thankfully, these dogs were on their leash because it's not fun having dogs coming after you that don't have a leash on. Thankfully, on a bike like this, you should easily be able to outrun the dogs. This thing just doesn't quit. It is so content doing 30 plus miles an hour, thumb throttle all the way pegged out. It loves it. Now, I'll be curious to see what the battery thinks of doing 30 miles an hour. Basically, pedal to the metal almost the entire trip. Suspension feels pretty good. It is a little bouncy. You know, obviously it doesn't have any rear suspension, but it does have some nice springs in the seat that help out a lot. You do have the front suspension, but that rear suspension is definitely going to make it a little bit more bouncy. The hydraulic brakes on this, when they said that this is a premium bike, they weren't joking. They weren't joking. You can just feel the difference in quality on this bike. And then one of the big features that I really appreciate is having brake lights, tail lights, headlights, turn signals. These are things that a lot of manufacturers don't think about. They don't include them, but they can be very important, especially if you're looking to use this bike as a commuter bike. You want people to know when you're stopping. You want people to know if you're going to be turning. It's really, really important. And like I said, this thing, 29, 30 miles an hour all day long. And of course, having a big projection headlight on the front, well, that's just the icing on the cake there, guys. Truly. Giant projector headlight so you can see at night. Really important, not just for you to be able to see, but for other people to be able to see you when you're out riding around at night. I'm going to cut the camera off and I'm going to enjoy riding this thing all the way back to the house. I can't help it. This bike is so fun. I want to bring it back out here just to play with it a little bit more. Normally, I only do these once, you know, but there's something about these 20-inch bikes that I just thoroughly enjoy bringing them out and playing with them. I'm pedaling right now, but there we go. Thumb throttle. You don't even need to, man. This thing just gets it out here. It's so much fun. If you haven't tried out an e-bike yet, if you've been on the fence, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a great one to get. It fits me just fine. I'm a full-grown man, you know what I mean? And I fit this bike just fine. It handles everything that I throw at it with ease. Look at that. Not a problem. I mean, this is a fun bike. And if it can handle me, and it shouldn't have any problems handling the majority of people that are going to be looking at getting something like this to take out and play with. Yes, it is a smaller bike in comparison to some of the big 26-inch bikes. Oh, come on, here we go. It is a little bit smaller, but don't let the size fool you. I don't want you to think that smaller means less capable. Absolutely not. And in some cases, I think the smaller form factor may actually be a little more capable in some instances. This thing, it's an absolute blast, man. Wow. Oh, we came off the ground on that one. We caught some air on that one, guys. I wouldn't still be doing this if I wasn't genuinely having, come on, don't get stuck, a good time. This is a, oh yes, again, we came off the ground. Again, you can hear it on those jumps, man. Oh, you guys fell again. I swear, I've never had such a hard time keeping a camera straight in my life. They just, I guess I should tell you something. The mount that I have on this camera is a really good mount. Really good, really strong. But these little torture tests that I do are, they're pretty hard on these things, man. Bikes included. Let's get some air. Yes, that front suspension is absolutely amazing. Did you guys fall again? Come on, guys. Work with me here. Work with me here. Like I said, I do this mainly so you guys can see what I'm putting the bike through. You know, there's not much of a better view than what you're seeing from that front tire, because this thing is just getting hammered on, man. Here we go, jump. Oh, that was a hard hit, guys. Oh, that was my mic. That was my mic. Oh no. Listen, I got my workout today, man. Whew. This is a particularly rough area. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you over, and I'm actually gonna show you how deep these ruts are that I'm jumping over. So this is where it starts getting a little rough. You know, I like to ride it up the sides of these hills. It's a whole lot of fun to get them up. But over here, this is where you really test out the suspension. Sometimes I ride across the side here, as you can see. Other times I jump. Other times I come up on this and I just let her go, man. There's some pretty good hills here that I like to jump over. This is one of my favorites because you can just kind of get to the top, pull up on the handlebars once you come up to the crest, and you'll just jump right over the top of this. So much fun. So I really wanted you guys to get a closer look at what I'm actually putting these bikes through. All right, it's not easy. They were not actually made for this, but I love doing it so much. I can't help myself. And I feel like it's a great test to see how good of a quality these bikes are actually made of. So here we are back at the bike. I love the color. I love the shelf, even though I wouldn't really use the shelf. That's not something I would personally use. But remember, this is more of a commuter bike. It absolutely was not made for what I just did to it, guys. You can really see that brake light now. That tail light, I should say, looks really good. Sun's going down. The headlight, obviously, really, really bright headlight, guys. Look at that. Wow. That is, yeah, that thing is crazy. Turn signals, you'll be able to see a little bit better now. See? Lets people know, hey, I'm here. Tells them what your intentions are. Super easy bike to use, guys. You've got the little push buttons up here and here. This takes you down, and this brings your gears up. Brakes are really good on this one. Throttle is amazing, but what about the battery? Why don't we check that out? So if you want to take the battery out, you put your key in here. The keys are usually attached to the wires up here. Take them off. Don't leave the keys with your bike or somebody will steal it and your battery. But you turn this to loosen it. You got a little thumb thing here. You just twist it and the battery will pop out. So you can replace it if you ever need to. Now right here, this is important, there's an on-off switch. If you don't realize it's there, because it comes default off, you might think your bike is broken. It's not broken. Just open up this little cover here and flip your battery on, and then make sure you secure this rubber cover back to keep moisture out. And then just come up here and we'll power on the bike and we'll see what kind of battery we have remaining on this after that brutal test run, guys. So it shows 84% and we went 5.2 miles. Maximum speed, 33.5. Average of 8.8 miles an hour. 35 minutes out here having a great time on this bike. Absolutely loved it. Every single minute of it. If I wasn't so tired, I'd probably continue playing on this a little bit more. This thing is an absolute blast. It held up way better than expected. And unfortunately, my camera mount could not keep up nearly as well as the bike. So after the torture test, I'm going to say this is an amazing bike with great power, great speed, very comfortable. And if it can handle all of this mess out here, it will have no problem handling whatever you're going to throw at it. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you check this bike out. I'll have a link below the video. Definitely go check it out. Get it while it's still on sale and have yourself a really fast and really fun e-bike. Thank you to Rattan for sending us this bike. Feel free to send me any more. I'd love to review some of your other products. Stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.